the article I read indicated about music to reduce the heart rate, lower blood, and we're talking all about that. Adding music in, and you're explaining to us why. Can you share even like more as it relates to the different sounds and what we talked about earlier, the one that energized, and then what we just did to like calm the nerves? Are there other techniques that go along with it that help? And
Sure. Simply put, when we use self-directed sound, we help to turn on relaxation. That's the simplest way to put it. And when we're finished here, I'll send you a bunch of articles that I've written about this, and you can feel free
I'd
to share
love
them with
to.
any of your folks. And with rhythm, again, this is super general. When you have quick up-tempo music that you love, that will tend to energize the brain. When you slow those rhythms down, it tends to help the brain slow down. I developed an exercise. You were asking about this earlier, and I think this pertains to the question, where I figured out basically how to trick my own anxiety-ridden brain to basically shut off, not shut off, but like quiet down,
Or
and then
redirect it. Redirect it.
redirect it out of noise into quiet, and then to help it to fall asleep. And this was the subject of my TED Talk called How to Trick Your Brain into Falling Asleep. So maybe I could do a demonstration of that.
Oh,
Maybe
I'd love it. Yeah, we would.
yeah,
I'm sure the audience would love it too. So thank you.
sure. So I'll just back up a little bit.
Okay.
And first of all, whenever you listen to music and you move along to it, this is your brain recognizing that there's a pattern. It's an idea called rhythmic entrainment, and it's natural. Even babies, like they'll hold onto the table and they'll
Yeah,
start to bounce
sure.
to music.
Uh-huh.
So what that is the brain recognizing a pattern and then following it. And its tendency when it's in a pattern is to keep following it. So what I did is I figured out that if I give my brain a specific pattern, get it connected with it, and then at the end, if I slow down the pattern, it will help my brain to calm down, right? Because in a brainwave state, the quicker the state, the more anxiety. The slower the state, the more relaxed you are in your consciousness. So all we do is we're going to tap at a rate of 4 taps per second. So right, left, and it's very soft. And for those of you who can't make noise where you are, you could even just tap with your fingertips and barely make any sound. So we're just tapping and then just breathe. And what we're going to do is just breathe, and we're going to tap for about 30 seconds or so. And then at the end, we're going to slow down the tapping, and I'll take you through all of that. When we're finished, you can take a few moments in quiet and just notice if it's done anything at all. All right, so here we are. We're tapping very softly, 4 taps per second. And let's take a breath in and let it go. Close your eyes if you like. Breath in and out. Relax in and out. Good. In and out. Breathing in and out. Just a couple more. Breath in and out. Keep the tapping going. Breathe at your own pace. And now let's slow the tapping down. And then slow it down again. And slow it down again. Get ready. 4, 3, 2, 1. And just breathe and relax. Notice how you feel.
I can feel like relaxation in my back, which is always feels like it's up top, like when I go to the chiropractor, he'll say to me, "Oh my goodness, like your nerves are like wired for sound. When it's chronic, you don't even feel it anymore."
Yeah.
I feel like my back quieted down. I don't know if that, if anybody else can understand that, but
Well, this is the thing. We hold tension all through the body.
yeah.
And when it's present all the time, sometimes we just get used to it and we don't notice it until part of the body starts to release. There's actually an excellent book for those of you who have a physical trauma, mental trauma. It's called Your Body Keeps the Score.
I've read it. It's
Yeah,
great.
so you know all about it. It's a
Mhm.
great book.
It's a great book. It is. It's funny. Like if you go, some therapists nowadays use a version of healing called tapping, that you
Yeah.
learn to tap on your wrists and different things. And I've always been uncomfortable with it for some reason, but with this, I'm not. That feel like I had more relaxation with it.
Yeah,
So
this is using basically we're activating both hemispheres of the brain, right? Every time we move a limb, we're firing off these hemispheres, and basically, what you're talking about. There's a couple things. There's EMDR for trauma, and then
been
there's
through it extensively. Yep.
yeah, and then emotional freedom technique, that the tapping like this.
Mm-hmm.
I think of what I'm doing here. I call it brain tapping.
Mm-hmm.
And it is simply, I think of it as like the little brother of all those other techniques. And its only purpose, as far as I teach it, is to help the brain connect to a pattern and then to slow the system down by slowing the pattern down.
Well, it's interesting. You're talking about the connect of the pattern. Like, when you do EMDR, the psychologist has you create a safe space for you so that if it gets too much, when the two brains connect, especially when you're first releasing that visualization of like what happened, that the traumatic moment.
Yep.
I always go out to Ireland on Slayhead Beach. That's my
Nice.
favorite place in the world,
Great.
And while we were tapping on the legs, I visualized it went instantly to that location.
Wow.
That
So
was pretty cool because I usually can't get that connected unless I'm doing EMDR, where it but it balanced. I could feel my brain almost leveling out, like when the boat's going straight instead of, like tipping back and forth. And I'm big about visualization because to me, that helped me the most,
yeah.
with between the EMDR and now what you're talking about makes me feel like I'm learning a different level. But I also think, and you've worked with a lot of people in recovery. I think you have to be ready for it sometimes, but there's different techniques. Like this is so simplistic, but yet so effective. Like for people that are nervous about going to a therapist, or it's a great way to begin to get your system to react. And I always encourage people to find your own connectivity. I think it's so important. And as we talked about earlier, music is the international language, to be able to do that.